My name is Mary Hames. I'm the head of the Gender Equity Unit at the University of the Western Cape. We believe that wars on women's bodies in particular happens 24 hours, 7 days a week, and sometimes we feel as if we do not move in spite of South Africa's progressive laws in actually containing or even eradicating the violence against women, because every time we read in the newspapers, and it starts from little girls' bodies is being found, and more often than not, the violence is being perpetrated not by strangers, but by people that they know, by family members. It is about as if, and the violence is disproportionately perpetrated against women by men. And these are the statistics and the realities that we are living with. In violence, and especially because I work at the university, I believe that universities are just the microcosms of the broader society. We represent everybody that's outside our fences. We also have inside our universities. And over the last number of years, we have seen how women students have been violated, abused, and often killed by other young male students. I'm particularly interested in the violence against black women, because if we look at our statistics, in the areas that's being mentioned by the police statistics, by the Department of Statistics, in our newspapers, etc., it is actually the statistics regarding violence against black women and young children in our respective communities. And that is a matter of concern. So I often raise the issue around the intersections of race, gender, sex, and violence, and how it actually affects black women, and black for me is inclusive of all the people that's not white in South Africa. One of the progressive laws that came out shortly after the democratic elections in 1994 was the labor laws. And in the labor laws there was a code of good practice, because people have been pushing for sexual harassment for legislation against sexual harassment in the workplace. But what is most important is that you can have the best laws in the country, but if you're not vigilant, if you don't implement it properly, it will mean absolutely nothing. Laws that's also pertaining to specific institutions or to the workplace also have no effect on people who are not gainfully employed. And then we've got a large number of unemployed women in particular in this country. So where do they go to? So there was a movement amongst women, and they actually advocated for legislation around domestic violence in particular. And the progressive nature of that law that has been passed, the Domestic Violence Act, was that it included everybody. Not only your domestic partner, but if you would live in somebody's house, if you are otherwise related to somebody, if you are in a relationship with somebody, if you have a same-sex relationship, because all those things have been included. And I think we can proudly say, that law has been the most progressive law in the region, because of it, and it encompasses so everybody that can become the survivor or the victim of violence. For me, it's about awareness. I mean, we believe that the change starts with you. And if you live a non-violent life, or that is what you project, then it rubs off onto the next person. That we should not have laws to govern us or to govern our behavior. We should not have that. It should be an inherent thing that you should not do harm to others. And I think that it's sometimes a concept that people don't understand. Because if you look at the laws that we have, they all come from negative places. Look at the names. Domestic Violence Act. Why should you have a law on domestic violence if there is no domestic violence? Sexual harassment policy. Why should they have a policy on sexual harassment? It means these things are happening. So I would say that I will work in my lifetime towards a place where we don't need these kinds of